Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Sethi, Sales Manager for Colbus Autobox, and I'm joined today by Simon Needham, another Sales Manager for Colbus Autobox.
Good afternoon, all. In this webinar, what we're going to be showing to you is how you can control your packaging using the BOXER BX200, in essence, to save money, to reduce stock and free up valuable warehouse space. Basically, no more buying in minimum order values to hit price points, etc. And no more having to do with oversized boxes or using environmentally potentially damaging, costly void fill and bubble wrap.
Yeah, exactly. You get to have what you want when you want it. For the end user market, customers we work with, the benefits are clear. Having the control to manage your packaging requirements becomes much more simple. The BOXER is an easy to use, compact box maker that makes box making look easy.
Absolutely. The process of producing your own boxes is simple and easy. There's certainly no need to be a box making expert in order to produce good quality boxes. What are the benefits? By producing the correct number of exact size boxes, you can immediately stop stocking pallets of boxes in the warehouse. Instead, you simply keep a few optimized sheet sizes that allow you to make the range of sizes that you need while minimizing waste. Very often, a lot of waste actually can be reused as layer pads or corner protection in any case.
Yeah, that's a good point. You also gain the ability to react to on-demand or rush jobs. Those types of jobs where your key accounts throw last-minute big deals at you and expect you to turn them around quickly, but then at the last minute you get let down by your packaging, which is such a shame. You go through all that hard work to be let down by the cardboard box that it gets shipped in. Another quick key point to consider is that when you take into account that most facilities have a £5 per pallet per week overhead, this can add up to thousands of pounds over the course of a year.
Yeah, it's true. And another benefit is that by having correct size boxes, you use less void fill, which is, as we said, costly and not good for the environment. Plus, your customer will have to recycle it. Not only that, but it really, having the correct size boxes affects volumetric shipping costs quite significantly. And a recent study showed that by reducing box dimensions, box volume by 10 to 20%, reduces shipping costs by more than 20%. So that's big savings.
Continuing from that, having the right size box enables a better protected product. There is no internal movement and there's less chance of damage in transit. So if you're packaging something that's fragile or extremely valuable, the box is the most important part of its journey. Chances are we've all been there on the receiving end of packaging that is either the wrong size or damaged.
I think we have, and it sucks. Apart from the negative effect it has on the company's reputation, the cost of returns usually is one of the biggest factors in loss of profit to an organization. So reducing the percentage of returns goes straight on your bottom line profit. Not to be overlooked in this age of climate uncertainty is the impact each company's activities has on the planet. Better boxes do mean more in the wagon and therefore less fuel. Potentially may be viewed as a fringe benefit, but actually not one to be underestimated. Imagine 10 to 15% space savings. That's 10 to 15% less journeys, labour and fuel. And I think we've all seen the difference in air quality actually in the last 6 weeks. So, the benefits are actually real.
So what is the BOXER? Our BOXER is a quick set, 60 seconds typically, short to medium run length cardboard box making machine. 90% of its set is done automatically by your operator entering your chosen box style, which is generally pre-programmed in the software, and then the internal dimensions. There is no tooling required or complicated sets taking up time and valuable labor. It is a very simple to use compact machine that makes nuisance box sizes and styles much more manageable than buying them in.
Thereby saving money, reducing stock, and giving you what you need when you need it, more importantly. Okay, so we're going to show you a video now, which is the Boxer in action. So hopefully it will tell its own story. So there you have it. Here, we're just looking at a couple of box examples, the most popular ones that people use. I mean, generally speaking, the vast majority of people use an 0201 box, which is in the top right corner here. 4 panels, 1 glue flap, taped top and bottom. Furniture companies, on the other hand, generally use far bigger boxes, which are more wraparound boxes, even up to 3-part boxes, trays, lids and sleeves, so pallet boxes. So we've got a lot of ranges of different boxes we can produce.
The blinds industry being one for the design in the bottom right corner, the 0409 type product. I myself have done a lot of work with the large format point of sale market, and they tend to use the Maltese cross design, which is the one at the bottom left. And normally a design like that would require tooling at a cost of a few £100 to start with. So when you're making short runs of anything up to a few hundred boxes, it's just not financially viable. Some companies that are producing bits of packaging in-house are still converting these on hand-fed platens or die cutters or CAD tables, which are taking up, significant capacity of these machines.
You can produce, one of the strengths, as this picture shows, is just the scale of infinite size combinations to exactly fit your products, from a pallet box even down to a box small enough to fit a teacup in.
There's some good photos there. We're going to show you a video now, and it's a real-time demonstration of the Boxer itself, taken by myself. The video was taken for a UK-based folding carton manufacturer who uses a huge variety of variations of A4 boxes in small volumes, generally under around 500, but will go up to sometimes 1,000 or so.
Here we go.
Last few weeks I thought I'd show you a few videos of a few different job changes and the specification of the machine. So if you have a look at this screen here, you've got a range of pre-programmed job styles. You're going to be using the 0201 quite regularly. So let's set up a job together here. Let's enter some estimated dimensions here of a small box. And let's see what we can come up with. So this is telling you that you've got a blank length of 484 millimeters by 312 millimeters. We're actually working from oversized board in this circumstance. So as soon as you press next, the next page asks you what stock size you're actually working from. Now we're going to be working from an actual length of 1040 by an actual width of 460. So it tells you what's going on with your design. With this, if you wanted to achieve multiple out in length, you can do this. And it's going to tell you that you're going to remove waste to your length and waste to your widths. So Vicky's going to take the camera to the back of the machine and show you as I feed some board through. We're going to set the machine up very quickly. As soon as you press go, width removal comes out of the chute, or can come out with the product. Leaving you with your first product, second product, and you're back to the off cover.
Looking a little bit more youthful in that video, Simon. What do you think?
Time is never kind, my friend. Anyway, moving on. Can't. There we go. So, last process, and we're just going to show you a quick video in a second, is of the gluing options, how to finish the box. So we've essentially got the Pro Melt, a more manual process, which is absolutely perfect for 10s, 20s, 30s. Moving up to the Pro Gluer, which is a more automated machine for the larger quantities. It's also worth just saying at the end of that in addition to the gluing options that we've just shown you, that there will be an inline gluing option available to retrofit in the near future that'll combine those processes, the box making and the gluing process. So,
yeah, I think that moves us on to what I feel is one of the most important parts of justifying a project like this for end users. And what about the boxes themselves? Generally speaking, there is a 30% saving to be made when comparing bought-in boxes to making them in-house. Bear in mind, though, that normally the box has to be bespoke in terms of its internal dimensions, and under around 1,000 boxes as a quantity required. When you start looking at stock boxes, things like A4 boxes, it's difficult to justify making these in-house as they're manufactured in mass volumes at mass speed. The key point here, I believe, is that if you don't quite have the number of stock boxes you require to dispatch your current job, you can manufacture the A4 or the stock box on site, potentially at a loss, but it means that your valued product leaves the door in a timely fashion.
Yeah, and for some companies, it's not all about the cost savings. We work with many companies who might require 50 or 100 bespoke boxes per day. Their annual expenditure on corrugated packaging might be on the low side, but the value is in making sure that the product gets to where it needs to get to on time with a minimum of fuss. For example, a returns facility where repacking for online retailers, for example. They need to get that valuable product in and out as quick as they can, otherwise they start losing money. So it's not always about the raw material cost.
This here is an example of what we've just looked at there. It's one of our larger volume users. It's a point of sale company in London, and they've actually produced over 1.4 million boxes and wraps in just over 2 years. They run the machine on a 6 to 7 day working week on a 24/7 basis. For the majority of their wraps, they were saving around £1 per wrap.
It doesn't take a genius to work out where the savings come from on that particular project, does it? But as you've seen, using our machinery it's quick, it's easy, straightforward. You don't require any previous knowledge, and although it might not be core business to you, it's an aspect that you can control, like many of the raw materials already. The BOXER it's about 3 by 2 meters in footprint, very often removing more pallet space than it takes up, so it's space saving as well. And other little point, that it's not so heavy that it can't go on a good mezzanine floor as well.
And very often our machinery can be operated by a number of staff, not just one designated individual. If you're running a lot of boxes, our return on investment document, which I think we'll touch on towards the end of this as well, will show you the savings if you did have to put labour in place, as well as the other key components of the box making.
So you might also be wondering just who are Kolbus Autobox? Well, Kolbus are a German group of companies with a head office in North Germany. Be more specific though, Autobox itself has a very rich heritage in the corrugated box making industry, having been in business and since 1979. Has its own R&D, software, components and manufacturing division all under one roof. But I think more than that, it's a global network of sales offices, distributors and service backup to look after all the customer requirements.
And I think, Simon, it's important to point out that over the years we've helped hundreds of companies start their own box making cells, and there's very few industries that we haven't helped or have experience selling and nurturing into.
Yeah.
So I suppose that brings us towards the end of our presentation here. I'd just like to summarise it up quickly, but most companies we talk to do have some challenges or opportunities when they examine their packaging requirements. If you feel that your business could benefit from saving money, reducing stock, increasing warehouse space, improving the customer expectation, or generally being able to turn around on-demand jobs quicker and more effectively, then we can continue this conversation after the webinar.
Yeah. So, just in summary, we've talked about areas where there can be savings, how it's possible to reduce stock, how you can always have the correct packaging, and just basically be in control of the last process of your manufacturing before it goes out the door to your customer.
Obviously, the first step is always to look at your box usage. With that in mind, we'd love to offer you a personal consultation, a simple process where we can quickly identify areas of opportunity and savings.
We'll be in touch via email with you shortly after this finishes with a link where you can request a consultation. But of course, if you've got more pressing questions, you're very welcome to use the email shown just here. I think all that remains is for both Aaron and I to thank you all for listening.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be here for a few minutes now to answer any questions, and thank you again.
We'll see you again soon.
And thank you again.